We are Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a full-time journey around the world. With a passion for exploring new cultures, discovering hidden gems, and enjoying delicious local food, we are on a mission to experience as much of the world as we can.
It is Friday, March the 14th, about 6:15 in the evening. We've had an early dinner tonight, and we are now walking just across the main road from our Airbnb. There's this alleyway that's going to take us to the beach where we're going to go in for a swim right at sunset, which unfortunately we can't see because we're facing east and sunset's behind us.
We discovered it today. We knew we were close to the beach, but we finally walked out to the beach. It is gorgeous. It's swimmable. It's clean, pristine.
Yep.
And it's a very quiet beach, which all of those three have not been the case in the last.
There were a lot of kite surfers out this afternoon, so we'll see. I don't think that'll be the issue this evening, but it is an absolutely pristine beach. There was zero garbage on the beach. There was zero garbage in the water, no plastic anywhere. Easily the cleanest beach we've ever seen in our lives. And yeah, that's the beach, literally minutes from our door. So we are gonna go down and first get in the water. As you can see, Cory's already a speck in the distance. There's a sandbar out there, so it's really shallow, so you gotta go out a ways before you can actually swim. Also, I don't know if you can hear me right now because the GoPro's in the dive case, and I'm guessing the audio's pretty muffled. It is so pretty out here, you guys. This beach is amazing. It's clean, the water's warm. It doesn't get much better than this. I don't know if you can see how far away from the shore we are, but I am still standing and it's barely over waist deep right now. It is really shallow out here, and it's just this beautiful sandy bottom that goes out forever.
It is so warm and lovely in here. Oh, it feels good to be finally in the ocean.
Yep, Hua Hin is awesome. Highly recommend you guys come here. The beach is amazing.
Yeah, probably the best beach I've seen anywhere.
In a long time, yeah.
And when I say beach, I mean ocean beach. So.
Also, there is not a lot of vendors. We came out this afternoon. There's some kite surfing schools. There's some, looks like condo or apartment buildings there on the shoreline. I think there's a restaurant a little ways down the beach, but there's no vendors, no one hawking, no one coming by trying to sell you stuff. So it's super quiet and laid back here, which is honestly surprising.
I honestly can't get over how quiet. Yeah, like you said, quiet. Just for the amount of people that are on the beach, it's so minimal. So it's just so refreshing.
Yes, it is. So we're gonna enjoy some peace and quiet and go for a swim and catch up with you guys later. How's the water? That sunset is gorgeous. So yeah, I get why there's so many expats here. This is definitely not a bad place to retire, and I could definitely get used to this.
This place is magical.
Yes, yes it is. Yeah, no, you just gotta come here. Hua Hin is awesome. The beach here is absolutely beautiful, and I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Yeah. So we'll leave it here for the time being, and we'll catch you later. As soon as the sun goes down, the cicadas come out. Hopefully you can hear that. The GoPro's still in the dive housing, so I don't know what the audio quality is like right now. On our way to breakfast here, there's just this street corner by the train tracks, and obviously you can see there's a few vendors already set up shop behind us here on a Saturday morning. Some selling, looks like bags of produce, some beverages, food, and I'm not sure what else.
We have come to Ying's Cafe for breakfast. I found them on the Find the Gluten-Free app. They have gluten-free bread, and when I asked them how do they toast it, they said they have a toaster that has 4 slots, but they dedicate 2 to gluten-free bread. So they do know what they're doing here, and we'll see how breakfast is.
Yeah, there's not a lot of options for gluten-free here. They did also have some different cakes, like flourless cakes. Most were made with oats though, so if you are a true celiac like Cory, that might not be an option. But it didn't look like there was too many options overall for gluten-free breakfast spots here in Hua Hin, so that is one of the downsides to a smaller town like this.
I got the gluten-free toast. I thought it was supposed to be butter and condensed milk, but it looks like it's just gluten-free bread with condensed milk on top. It's okay. The gluten-free bread's really good. But,
Not quite what you're expecting.
honestly, I saw that there was waffles on, or at one point they had waffles here that I could get. That wasn't what I thought I wanted, so.
We don't actually know that they did have waffles. Just someone who reviewed this place on the Find Me Gluten Free app indicated that they did, which is why we came here. Turns out they don't. They don't have too many options, like I said. So, live and learn. Can't always trust what the app says. I went with just a simple order of pancakes with butter, honey, and strawberry jam. Okay, they're nothing to write home about, but honestly, I've had worse pancakes than this from places like Denny's or IHOP back in North America, so overall, it'll do.
We just finished breakfast. One thing about, I don't know if it's just Hua Hin or Thailand in general, it's a lot more cash heavy than any other country that we've been to thus far. So just keep that in mind. You actually are going to have to carry cash because a lot of the places are cash only.
Yeah, we've had to spend more cash here than anywhere else we've been in our travels in Southeast Asia so far, which is unfortunate, but what do you do? And at least we have our Wise card, so we can access cash pretty easily, although pretty much all of the bank machines, the ATMs here in Thailand, will charge 220 Thai baht per withdrawal, and that doesn't seem to matter which banks you use. Unlike in Malaysia and in Bali, where we were able to find banks that allowed us to do withdrawals with no associated fees, which was nice. That doesn't seem to be the case here. We also didn't really film anything at breakfast. It wasn't really anything to write home about. The best thing I can say about that was that it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either.
And if you're celiac and looking for a place that you need to eat, just if you don't have a kitchen or something, that is a safe place to eat. So, I mean, I can't knock it for that, but it definitely was not my favorite.
Yeah, likely we won't be going back there during our month-long stay here in Hua Hin.
Today, I'm doing something a little different. I'm here at a McDonald's in Thailand, and McDonald's is one of my guilty pleasures. I know it's lousy quality food and it's really bad for you, but I grew up loving it and I still do to this day. So today I've come to McDonald's and I'm going to try a number of different menu items that are not available back home in Canada and share with you guys what that's like. So I've placed my order, and unfortunately it's going to be a few minutes, so they've told me to take a seat, and I'm just going to wait until the food shows up. All right, it's been about a 7-minute wait because they were making one of these items fresh, which is fantastic. So let me show you what I've got here. We've got some truffle cheese McShaker fries. This is the original McFried chicken, a pork prosperity burger, and I'm really curious about this one, a corn pie, and just a bottle of water, because today, for some reason, for beverages, they only had Coke, Coke Zero, and Sprite Zero, and I really didn't want Coke, and I am not a big fan of the sugar-free drinks. So, water it is. Let's dig in and see how this is.
So I'm not sure what happened, but unfortunately the audio for the rest of this segment got screwed up. So today you get to listen to my voiceover instead. The McShaker fries are basically just regular McDonald's French fries, but they come with a little bag and a pouch of this seasoning mix, which you're meant to shake over top of the fries before you eat them. Today's flavor was a truffle cheese combo, and here I'm about to put it on, and I didn't put that much on, which in about 30 seconds I'm going to be very glad for. And right about here, you can see my reaction to that truffle cheese flavor. I was definitely not a fan, and I'm very glad I didn't put too much of the seasoning powder on. And moving on to the next item, we have the Prosperity Burger, which is unique to Southeast Asia, and it comes in either beef, chicken, or pork flavors. Today I have gone with the pork option. So the Prosperity Burger comes with a black pepper sauce slathered all over the patty, some mayonnaise and onions and lettuce as well. It was pretty good overall. Fairly sweet. The black pepper sauce was definitely sweeter than I expected it to be. Also, the pork patty. If you've ever had a McDonald's sausage McMuffin breakfast sandwich, the pork patty has that same kind of texture that the pork patty has, but of course not the breakfast sausage flavor, so it was kind of an odd one, not necessarily my favorite, and I'm not sure if I would get this one again. The next item is one that I was pretty excited to try, and this is the McFried chicken, which comes in original or spicy flavors. And just like the name sounds, it is basically a big piece of fried chicken, which in today's case was made fresh, which is why I had that 7-minute wait. So this was piping hot and crispy and was actually really, really good. The breading was really crispy, the seasoning was really good, it was very flavorful, and honestly, it was better than pretty much any fast food fried chicken that I've had in Canada ever. Honestly, was very surprised by this one.
This was the original flavor that I had today. Since shooting this
little clip, I did go back and try the spicy as well, and can report that it was every bit as good. This was actually a lot of food and I had trouble putting it all down. Rather than make you sit here and watch it all in real time, please enjoy this hyperlapse. So here I was talking about how I didn't really like the McShaker fries, and I wasn't sure if it was just the truffle cheese powder or not that I didn't like, so I actually tried a bit of that seasoning powder on the fried chicken, and it did not help. So definitely it was just the truffle cheese flavored powder that I was not a big fan of. The fries themselves were fine. I mean, they're McDonald's French fries. Who doesn't love those? The fried chicken was absolutely delicious, so I would just do regular fries with my meal next time and skip the McShaker fries altogether.
Alright, that was pretty good. I'm very full now. That was a lot of food. In order of preference, the fried chicken was awesome. The fries were good without the truffle cheese McShaker powder. And the prosperity burger, honestly, I found it to be too sweet. So that was probably my least favorite of the bunch. This is what I was most curious about today, though. A corn pie. First impression, what I noticed is that these are deep fried. Pop this out of here. And you see that. It's got that golden fried outer crust. In Canada, all we can get from McDonald's are the apple pies. And like more than 20 years ago, they switched from the old school deep fried to like a healthier baked version. And they're nowhere near as good. So here in Thailand, they have corn and they have pineapple, and I went with corn today, just for something completely different. So let's dig in and see how this is. It's not as hot as when it came up, because of course I've been eating the rest of my meal, but that's interesting. It's really crispy, because of course it's a deep fried pastry crust. Let me get another bite in here and show you some of the filling. That's not what I expected. Oh, I can see that on the GoPro here. It's a cream corn filling. Very creamy on the inside. Just a few corn kernels. It's not like full of corn. It's mostly the cream. And it's not that sweet. It's actually way less sweet than I would have expected it to be. It's not that bad. Alright, it's now evening, and we basically killed most of the afternoon in the pool, just to avoid the heat of the day. And if you watched our last video, the pool here at this Airbnb is massive.
Yeah, we would have preferred to go to the ocean, but the ocean there's no shade. And
None at all.
If you've been over here for any length of time, you do want to stay out of the sun during the hot part of the day.
Yeah, we would both be burned to a crisp if we'd gone out to the beach in the middle of the day, whereas a big chunk of the pool is shaded just because of the shadow of the building, so that was awesome. And we are now going to head out, and I think we're going to check out Hua Hin Beach and show you guys what that looks like before we head out to dinner. So yeah, we'll take you guys along, and after dinner we will probably be heading to a night market as well. So come along for that.
We're almost at Hua Hin Beach, and you can tell this is like a major tourist area. Everywhere else that we've walked, it has been really chill, not too many vendors or anything like that. All of a sudden, there's a ton of markets, and just a lot of people.
Yeah, lots of vendor stalls, lots of little bars and restaurants along the way. It is much cooler right now. It was 32 Celsius this afternoon. It took us about a half hour to walk here, and it's actually quite pleasant, even though it's still technically like 30 degrees right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But this is the time, what time is it? It's about 6:15, sunsets in about half an hour.
15 minutes, give or take.
15 minutes. Yeah. So this is the time that all the markets start to happen and all the people start to come out and start selling things. And so this is just the natural way of living in the tropics.
Yeah, avoid the heat of the day, which is what we did this afternoon. Anyways, we're gonna be at the beach in just a couple of minutes, I think, and we'll take a look and see what this section of Hua Hin Beach looks like. We definitely found the busy part of Hua Hin Beach. Way different vibe here than the beach by our Airbnb.
Yeah, it's super crowded. There's a bunch of seats with umbrellas. So if you want to come down here during the day, I'm sure they open up. Right now they're closed, probably because it's close to sunset. And I would say this is the most popular beach.
Yeah, absolutely. So the chairs and tables and umbrellas, I think those are all restaurants. There's a ton of vendor stalls that way. There's people there doing Instagram photos. There's horse riding. You can see the horses behind us there. This is where it's happening. And yeah, I don't know that this is where I would necessarily want to spend my afternoon, but
no, I think the beach that is closer to our place, it's just more our vibe. It's super chill. There's
quiet,
not very many
yeah.
people, so, and the water looks a little bit more swimmable because there's rocks and stuff here, whereas the beach close to ours is just sand.
Yeah, agreed. So anyways, we're gonna go wander a little bit and check it out and then head to dinner. So one of the things you can do down here at Hua Hin Beach is horseback riding. As you can see, there's a number of them here, and as usual, Cory cannot resist petting a horse whenever the opportunity presents itself. I am definitely glad we are staying where we're staying though. That beach by our Airbnb is so much more quiet and peaceful compared to this place.
I mean, that's just more like our vibe.
Yes,
if
it is.
you're into having more of like a party vibe or just like more people around, this might be the beach for you. We are at Anoma's. We came here the first night that we arrived, and they do handle gluten-free, and I seem to recall the waitress telling me that salads, fried rices, and curries were okay. So I tried to order a fried rice today, and I guess they use a flour in the spice blend that they utilize for the fried rice. So we've asked them to sub a different curry paste into the fried rice. We'll see what happens. But so gluten-free is a challenge here. It's not got a lot of options.
I guess that's what we get for being in a small town. Definitely the gluten-free options for Cory are much more limited. The Find Me Gluten-Free app has far fewer restaurants on it that are close by. And for example, I never would have expected that trying to order a pineapple fried rice, that there would be wheat flour in the curry powder that they use for that particular dish. That's not something that, you know, is very common in a curry powder, so it just never would have occurred to me. The only good thing I can say is that they did know, you know, when he went to check the gluten-free, he did know that the wheat flour was in that curry powder and knew enough to tell Cory not to order that dish, which basically would have left her with just the option for a plain fried rice, which is just not very exciting. So hopefully this substitution works out for Cory.
at least it turned out amazing. It is so flavorful. The curry paste that they put in, it's got some heat behind it, and the flavor, it doesn't hit right away. It just kind of like builds. But there's cashews, pineapple, tomato, raisins, green onions, regular onion. It's really well done. So in the end, it was a very good call.
I've gone with a vegetable pad thai tonight. Just kept it simple and light because we're heading to the night market where there's going to be more street food after, so I'm not going to go too heavy. And so it's just flat rice noodles in a tamarind sauce with egg and tofu, bean sprouts, green onion, chilies, and then there's some crushed powdered peanuts there, more bean sprouts, and some lime juice to go over top of everything. So I'm just going to mix that all in. Squeeze the lime over top of this. And unfortunately, usually pad thai is gluten-free. Most places it would be. Here it is not. So Cory can't have this, I'm afraid. And that is for some reason probably because they're using soy sauce or something in the sauce mix, which isn't actually traditional for pad thai sauce. So that is unfortunate and disappointing. All right, get that mixed up and give that a taste. That's pretty good. Not the first time I've had this. We did have it that first night we got here. I had shrimp pad thai that day, and the shrimp weren't actually very good, so I'm much happier with the vegetarian option.
We just finished dinner at Anoma's. Ended up being absolutely delicious, and I have no complaints. They were surprised that I liked it because it was a little spicier, and I guess that's just not normal for people to like. But anyways, now we're gonna head to the Hua Hin market. We don't really know where we're going, so we'll pick you up.
I know where we're going. And yeah, it'll just take a few minutes to walk there from here. And it's open every night from 6 p.m. on, and we'll go check it out. We've arrived at the Hua Hin night market. Down this cool little alleyway, passageway, I'm not even sure what it is. And we'll go check it out. And there should be a bunch of vendors, food, and street vendors.
Yeah, I think for me, there's probably one or two things I can get, maybe dessert like. Given how difficult it has been to find actual gluten-free Thai food, I'm not going to take any chances in the night market, but this is more for him.
Yeah. So, lots of awesome food vendors here, but this isn't actually the Hua Hin night market. This is just like another food court on our way to the night market, which should theoretically be somewhere that way. So we're gonna go try and find it.
We have found the actual night market. It's actually just off the one that you're on, so it's not too far.
Yeah, you just cut through that like food court center area and basically come kitty corner and out the other side, and here is all the other vendor stalls. So we'll go check them out. And now that we've exited that part of the market where all the inside stalls were, we're out on the street now, and there are vendor stalls running down the middle of the street, basically as far as I can see to my left and right. So we'll go check them out and see how far it goes.
So far, this is the most chill night market that we've ever encountered. There's no one trying to sell to you. There's lots of room. Nobody's bumping into you. Everybody's super polite. This one's actually really like pleasant to be at.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It's definitely not that crowded for a Saturday night. You know, it's almost 8 p.m. now, so things are in full swing.
Yeah,
I like it here.
Maybe it's slow season. I don't know, or maybe it just has something to do with it being like more of a retirement town. Either way, it's really nice.
It's some sort of cashew and coconut mixed candy, or cashew and sesame. Smells good. It's all caramelized and you can smell like the sugars and stuff, so I'm sure it's tasty. We spoke too soon. We found the busy.
It still doesn't feel overwhelming. It's just a crowd. It's nobody trying to sell you things. Nobody like trying to grab you or anything like that. It's just like a normal farmer's market back at home.
And for the record, this night market goes 2 city blocks. And to nobody's surprise, Cory made another friend. I'm a happy camper because I just got some roti with banana, also known as crispy Thai pancake with banana in it. And so it's this crispy, thin roti, like basically you saw them cooking it there in all that butter and I'm sure it's margarine or something and oil. It's cooked until it's all crispy and delicious. It's got the nice, soft, sweet banana inside. And then it's chopped up and it's served with all of this condensed milk on top. Sorry, it's really hard to get into here. I'm trying to get a piece with a little of everything. The outside is crispy. The inside has that almost custardy sweet banana, and then it's dredged in the condensed milk, so it's just sweet and delicious. And honestly, this is probably one of my favorite things in Thailand at this point.
And that is gonna wrap up the night. The food market for gluten-free, there's some
mango sticky rice. There's definitely fruit and stuff. There wasn't really anything else, so this was mainly for him. What do you think?
My banana pancake was crispy, sweet, and delicious, and exactly what I was hoping it would be. I do agree, options if you're gluten-free are definitely going to be limited. There was one other dessert-ish item that may or may not have been possible, but the first person we asked indicated no, that there was wheat flour in it, so we decided not to take a chance with the others. So that's unfortunate, but this place is very busy. If you're looking for a seafood dinner, if you're looking for a bar to have a drink, with a nice atmosphere, if you're looking for souvenirs, gifts, or just street food, this is definitely the place to come.
And again, it's not pushy. It feels more like a Canadian farmer's market. The vibe is super chill. You don't feel like you're in anybody's way. Everybody is really polite. So that was just a really nice change compared to a lot of the markets that we've been to lately. So very enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. Even when it was busier down at the other end, it never felt as crazy as some of the other street markets that we've been to, where it's just constant barrage of people selling to you and constant pushy crowds. Totally laid back. And overall, that just seems to be the whole vibe here in Hua Hin, which I'm totally loving.
Yeah, I would say we're starting to fall in love with Hua Hin. We'll probably return for sure. It's definitely on our return list. But I think that is everything for tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the evening. Thank you guys for coming along with us as we wandered around Hua Hin today. We hope you've liked this video, and if you did, please make sure to hit the thumbs up, give us a like, and make sure you subscribe.
And we hope that you'll join us in the next video for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.
The other thing is, we didn't really film anything at breakfast. Sorry, we'll have to cut that. The other thing is, we didn't really film it. Take 3.